Hey, how you doing? I shaved. I know. I think I like the baby face. Anyways, I thought I'd make this video just kind of about what I think is wrong with the way that university education operates. Uh, in my opinion, I think universities teach a certain brand of Nietzschean elitism and not really educate people. I find it interesting, of course, just how compartmentalized the university structure is. And I think that's a major issue that actually prevents people from entering into a new era of enlightenment, which I think if universities adjusted the way that they, functioned, coupled with the internet, then we would be able to make many more intelligent, literate, well-read academics. Unfortunately, that's not what we're creating with universities. Um, Instead, we seem to be creating a weird type of socialist, mind-controlled society uh, that isn't really based on facts, evidence, or reality. Now, there are things that you cannot debate, like physics. You can't debate physics. Um, and I think an interesting thing that I noticed in my lifetime is, when I was in high school, the 9/11 attacks happened. And, me and my friends, we all knew that that was some kind of an inside job. I mean, it was obvious, it was transparent. It looked like a controlled demolition, for crying out loud. But then as my friends went off to university, uh, they began to be brainwashed. And they started to deny the truth that they knew about 9/11 because everyone else was going, oh no, that's a conspiracy theory. And it's like, no, it's just that's something that happened. I think a lot of people that are left wing academics are still completely flabbergasted by the idea that Donald Trump could win this election. But I mean, they think that they can pick and choose facts. You can't pick and choose facts. You can be in denial of them, or you can accept reality and figure out what to do from there. You know, Noam Chomsky is, I think, an excellent example of someone that is, the embodiment of left wing elitism, essentially. Uh, because as a linguist, he should be able to recognize that people are being manipulated in society through use of the English language, which has obviously, of course, been done for centuries because whose English are we speaking, mate? Huh? Huh? How did the British conquer societies? Well, they divide groups against one another and play them off each other. That's exactly how the English language works. And I mean, I think an excellent example of this is the degradation of language in hip hop culture. I mean, I get that some young black men are angry about shit, but when I try and have a dialogue with these guys, I literally can't understand the slang that they're speaking at me because it doesn't compute. Like there's just, and this is the problem with English is that everything keeps on getting fucked around to play people off one another. I mean, it just that's a whole thing. Universities aren't really teaching people about things, and the other major problem with universities is corporate funding deciding which ideas get tenure and which ideas don't. I was talking with a medical scientist the other day, and he was explaining that in his opinion and the majority of the research that he's done, cancer is not a genetic disease, but is in fact caused by environmental factors such as preservatives in food, and obviously cigarettes. But, you know, that type of research doesn't get funding because then it basically it would force the entire paradigm to change. And one thing I notice a lot about these liberal academic types is that they don't have the courage to speak truth to power. In fact, they're too weak-willed to do so, which is sad, you know. Another thing I find funny is that university psychology really likes to try and negate the works of Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud and try and say that they're discredited, when really there's no scientific evidence to back up the claims of psychiatry. So it's actually psychiatry that's discredited. You know, I was reading through a master's thesis from somebody that was doing a psychology degree, and in their introduction, they claimed that emotion